Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we are going to talk about a new app which was recently added to the Open Repos store. And in the end, the app is called Muoto UI Themer and does exactly that. It helps you to more or less change different things in the interface with themes packs and stuff like that, and just manage them and reset them if you don't like them anymore and stuff like that. It's a really nice app which will really help you if you want to, for instance, change the UI in different kinds of ways which are not possible by Ambience, or Ambience as a normal feature of SailfishOS, of course, or the settings itself. And that is, for instance, if you want to have a different kind of, let's say, font to better read it, or just have a smoother font, whatever you want to have there, is in the end possible if you find the right theme pack for that. And this is a manager for exactly that, okay? The same developer developed something that is connected to the last episode too, so I want to show you that before we start with this one. And I'm just going to show you that it's a small little honorable mention, or whatever you want to call it, because he saw the last episode and he wanted to do something about that partner space we talked in the last episode about. If you want to know more about that, click up there. That more or less this partner space was only possible with the terminal, so you needed to have some kind of coding skills to do that. And he wanted to do something about it and gave us Carousel Partnership. And Carousel Partnership is going to give you the ability to select which kind of app you want to have in the partner space, and you can have 5 of them and a couple of other things that are pretty nice. And I really like this app, so I wanted to mention it. Maybe I'm going to do another episode about it, but for now, just so you don't have to wait for it, I just wanted to tell you about it already. Okay, so let's go back to Muoto UI Themer, which is this one. And this one is really a pretty nice thing to have if you want to do stuff like pixel size, pixel density, better to say. That will change the overall size of everything on the screen and stuff like that. As you can see, icons and fonts can be exchanged and changed through the themer, and that is a really nice thing to have. So you can download it from Open Repos. I'm going to show you later on where you go to get it in your smartphone. Better to say later on is just now, okay? So in the end, all you can see here is, of course, on my small screen, and I'm just going to show it through a technology called Screencast, in this case, on the big screen, okay? So first off, this, of course, is my SailfishOS empowered Sony Xperia 10 Mark III in this case, and I'm just going to show you everything that you need to know about this app. So let's go to the store first. Store would be the store man. If you don't have installed that, you can go to the website, as I have shown you before. And if you go in here, just select it, go up there, go to the search, and search for Muoto. If you do that, you will have that one there. And very important, you will find a lot of other stuff too, because in the end, there are a couple of different theme packages and stuff like that that you could install from here, or you can go to Muoto and install them from there. So we will see what you want to do there and what you prefer. In the end, just get this one, so up there. And if you go into that, you can already see he's going to tell you what this is all about, where the theme packs can be found from, and what you can do with the app itself. To install them, just go up there. If you didn't install it already, you would find an add repository link, and after that an install link at the top there, and like that you can install it. After that, it will be somewhere at the bottom, or probably at the bottom of your app starter, more or less, or your launcher, whatever you want to call that. And if you click on it now, then you will of course go into that. For you, if you started for the first time, you will not see anything here, okay? Because you don't have any kind of theme packages installed probably at the moment. To do that, you can go up here, and here you can go to download, in my case, more themes. I think if you don't have anything, I think there's a button there. I'm not sure. Anyway, it is available at the start or it's a menu up there. And if you go into that, you can go to download more themes. It will bring you more or less into the Storeman interface, and here you can more or less select different kinds of themes. For instance, if you don't want to change anything else, you can of course go and just, for instance, get the Nokia Pure font pack or something like that, and that will only install fonts in the end, okay, if you want that. You can have something like the Ubuntu themed smartphone applications here, which will give you an ambient and themes in the end, which will help you, for instance, to get this kind of visible interface, whatever you want to call that. So there's a new ability to get a couple of different other things. This is Ubuntu. There are a lot of them in the interface there, so just search for them. The enchanted sound theme, whatever that is. Not all of them will work with Muoto, of course. If they are searched like that, it's only theme or something that is searched, theme pack, which is searched, and of course not all of them will be in the Muoto part there or can be used by Muoto, but many can, especially if you have a look at the date here, you will find a couple of them and you can install them and just try out which one is the one you want to have there. Because of course, if it was released in 2016 or something, maybe it's not going to work, but maybe it will. So just try it out. Probably you will have a good time by selecting all these and have a look at them. And of course, you can reset and deinstall everything that you don't want to have there. That's a very interesting and very needed feature, I would say, for this kind of application. Okay, if you go to back to your app then, you can already see I have at the moment 3 of them installed here. Evolve Plus, Nokia Pure and Sailbuntu. And if you, for instance, go on one of them then, click on them, you can already see, okay, this is the kind of icon set that will be used there, because the icons can be changed with this theme pack, for instance. And as you can see, you can select what you want to have here. For instance, Apply icons. You can try to style the missing app icons, because of course not all the different apps you have installed on your system will have already, sorry for that one, thank you, will already have some kind of a specialized icon for this theme pack. But in the end, he's trying to emulate something that is close to that and will put that in this case. If you go down here, you can see, okay, if I select this one, the home screen will automatically be restarted, because that is in many cases necessary, and like that you can do that here. So let's have a look at how that will look. It takes a little, and after a while you will even have a black screen or something here. So as you can see, settings applied, and now he's going to more or less black out. You can't see it there because there's no image that is sent there anymore, but in the end the screen will black out. It will take a little bit till it's restarted again, and after that it's going to have the new features enabled. That is all about, I think, the icons and maybe a couple of other things, I'm not sure, but I think some of the settings you can set without a restart, some of them you will have to restart for them. Okay, you will just try it out and he's going to tell you when it's necessary. Okay, and here we are again. I have my screen again back, and let's see, maybe I will have to refresh now here, I'm not sure, yeah. Okay, so refreshing my browser to get you this back on. And if you have a look at that now, the icons all have a very different kind of feel to them now. And that is of course because of the theme applied to this system now. Very interesting, even though this is, for instance, a different kind of patch, you could tell it, which gave me this kind of icons there. Even those are now more or less in a pretty nice fashion and look exactly like the other stuff here. As you can see, we have, for instance, the audio recorder is very, very different from everything else. The calculator looks very different, media and stuff like that are all in a kind of other looking way and very nicely done, I would say. Okay, so after that you can of course just go into Muoto, which has a different icon now too, so have a look at that. If you can't find it, it's probably there. And as you can already see, there is this information what is applied at the moment from this. Very interesting. So this is more or less an icon set we have there. Nokia Pure, for instance, is more about all the fonts you have on the system. So for instance, if you want to have the Nokia Pure font, then just you can set this up. And now you can, for instance, more or less decide which kind of weight level should the font have in your system. So for instance, light could be fine. There's always this small little preview which is going to show you how it's going to look. If I reselect all of this, you can already see it. I like the light ones because it's just a little bit more, valuable, whatever you want to call it, worthy. In the end, as you can see, if you put that in, you have to restart your home screen again too. So I'm just going to do that now. Takes a little. By just swiping over, I can use this apply button there. And now, as mentioned before, it will again black out my screen. Takes a little, but that's totally normal. So it's not a bug or something. It's just that they have to restart all this because all of this is of course cached there. And like that, the fonts and everything you set up there should be available now. After a while, the system will come back in, and then you will see we have a different kind of style now for the fonts and stuff like that there too. Okay, so back again, yeah. Now I will have, very different. If I update my screen here again on my laptop, of course, then you should be able to see everything. And as you can see, we have a very different kind of style in the font now at this point. And of course, everything everywhere else in the normal system. Okay, so if you go, for instance, into the settings and stuff like that, you will see these two. Another thing, as mentioned before, the icons where there is no special icon available. For instance, for Bugger, there's nothing at the moment, I think. They are going to try to do something about that and create an icon which is looking in the same fashion, but is of course nothing very different. It's just going to have other borders, maybe a background color, something like that, which will bring it to this part. For instance, the Dateiverwaltung, which means a file browser in the end, is looking very different in the icon itself already. Camera, for instance, would have been round. In this case, it's more rectangular, rounded and stuff like that. So in the end, very many of these are going to be changed, and I really like how many options you get with that. And you can combine this all with everything else, okay? So for instance, if you want to go and have another theme, for instance, because you like a light theme or something, you can just go and get all the different ambiences, which are of course in the normal functionality. If I put that one in, he's just going to change that over. But for instance, our font is still the new one, as you can see up there. And if I go, for instance, into this now, you can see we have now a bright colored one, but everything works in this kind of fashion too. Of course, you will have to select a good one, especially suited for your needs or what you want to have it to look like. But in the end, everything is still there, what I applied with this one, okay? So now, what and how to get rid of that again? Because probably after a while you want to test something else out, or you want to go back to the native one or whatever. If you want to, just go into the Muoto app again. If you go in here, you can of course go back up here and just go to the restore theme part that will get you back to the default one. And of course you can go into these if you want to and restart other things here too, but in the end that will reset everything back to normal for you. Other thing, pixel dichte, which means pixel density in the end, will give you different kinds of options too. For instance, the scale of the whole system can be changed like that, okay? Meaning, if you go with a different display scale, then the pixels on the screen will be defined in a little bit different way, and like that you will have bigger or smaller font sizes and stuff like that all over the place. As you can see, you can select what kind of things should be happening here by just going with this range slider there, but in the end, lower, more on screen, higher, larger text and buttons is important to know in this case, okay? And of course, if you want to change the system launcher icons, for instance, that is possible too. I highly recommend you to do only one of those, because otherwise it's a little bit hard to see the difference. Because, for instance, if you change the display density in the end, the pixel density in the end, and you put a much larger icon size in there, you won't see that there is a difference. So in the end, just try it out. Let's see what we want to have here. Let's say we want to have very, very large stuff in here. If you select that, yeah, then you will have to go up here and probably, or maybe, I'm not even sure if it's done automatically. Maybe it's done automatically. It looks a little bit different already. I'm not sure. In the end, if you want to be very, very clear about it, just go up here in the menu and go to Restart Home Screen. And if you do that, then it's going to apply everything you set up here, and you should see the difference already. It's a very, very powerful app, I would say, if you like this kind of stuff. And yeah, in the end, it's for fine-tuning, okay? So nothing, it's not necessary to do this, but it's just fun to have the possibility and the ability to do that, especially because you can always reset back to the default, and that's really a great thing. Yeah, and I want to thank the developer for all this, of course, because the other app is by the same developer I showed you before, and it's really, really great that he decided to more or less get all this started and get all of this done. For instance, yeah, okay, you can't see it at the moment, but it's already restarted. As you can see, much larger font style at this point, for instance. So now we have a much larger font here because we changed the pixel density in the end. And if you go in here, you can see that already too. So much better to read for people with bad eyesight or whatever. And you can just choose whatever you want to get there. And depending on your smartphone which you're using, this can be a huge deal, and it can be a deal breaker depending on what you have there. For instance, now the problem with this is, of course, there is not much that can be written in one of those icons there. Good thing is, still, as you can see, all the other patches I showed you on the channel before, for instance, I think it's launcher combined patch or something called, still applies. So in the end, if you need to set that up too, you can go to the launcher apply or to the launcher combined, I think, patch, and change, for instance, how many of these icons should be in one row and stuff like that. And like that, you could set it up in another and a pretty nice way too, to look a little bit different than, or just to have the possibility to show more of the name, for instance, if you need this kind of large font areas there. Okay? And yeah, this is more or less all I wanted to show you in this app. I'm just going to reset everything now, just to make sure that everything can be resetted. So restore theme is the first thing I'm going to put here. As you can see, he is going to reset the icons and the font in this case, and he's going to restart the start screen again. This is of course what you will have to cope with, so it takes a little to set everything back. And of course you can do exactly the same with the pixel density too. So, okay, after the black screen, of course, sorry. I always forget that you can't see what I'm doing if I reset everything already, because then you need to wait for the smartphone to reappear after a while. So let's give it a little bit of time. Need some seconds depending on what you do there, but in the end, I think it's more or less always the same time, because in the end we are restarting the system more or less. So what is going to happen when you restart is going to happen here too, of course only regarding the interface. After that, now we can go back, and of course I will have to refresh my screencast here, otherwise you can't see what I'm doing here. And now I can go back into Muoto again and, for instance, reset the pixel density too. So go up here. You can do it by hand, or you can just go up here and say, hey, okay, please restore the pixel density. If you do that, standard DPI size and default icon size will be re-applied more or less. If you do that again, it's up or back to 175. Again, you can't see it. but it's happening at the moment, and after a while you should be able to see the difference again, and then you are back to default and your smartphone is like it was before. So for you, just try it out. In some situations you will have to reset, but others maybe you find the right combination for you. And if you want to show that to us, just show it to us in a video or whatever you want to show it like. And that should give you a very, very nice possibility to set everything up like you want it, okay? So we are back again. I'm just going to refresh here, and as you can see, we have the default size of the icons or of the font up there again. The icons are my defaults back again, so everything is reset, so works perfectly fine, at least for me. And I really can switch between all these packages, and it really works nicely to go back and forth. And that is very important for a themer, and this is working very well. Yeah, and I would say, other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, thank you for to the developer to developing all these apps. Really, really interesting, really, really nice stuff there. And other than that, thank you for watching, see you around, and bye.